Today for the Bitcoin price with DaVinci J15. Guys, look at this. Bitcoin is here going completely crazy. And the question right now is, of course, are we going to face a massive rejection here? Or is this just the start of a massive breakout towards new highs here? We are going to be revealing to you here towards the end of the video. We will be talking about all of that with DaVinci J15. We have crazy, juicy news here with Singaporean banks, Indian banks joining the crypto space, FOMO'ING into Bitcoin. We will be talking about all of that, what this means for the Bitcoin price as well. Obviously, I will be showing you here my trade on Bybit, my trade on FEMAX. All of them are going completely parabolic. I will be showing it to you, but more importantly, today we have DaVinci here and we want to know what is DaVinci's game plan? What is DaVinci expecting for Bitcoin right now in the immediate short term, and what are his price targets? So guys, make sure you are taking a seat. You are watching this video until the very end. This is very important. Sit down and also scroll down, smash up the like button. I promised you actually in the video a few hours ago, if we are getting thousands of likes within a few hours, I am going to make a video with DaVinci J15. So now my new promise is smash this one up to 4,000 or 5,000 likes and I will be pressing even more content towards you here on YouTube and on Twitter. Smash up the like button, press subscribe, press the bell, and also press here on all to get all notifications of our emergency videos. And with that being said, I want to come to the most important question of today. DaVinci J15, how are you doing today, my man?
In the pipe, 5 by 5. Bitcoin's moving up faster and faster. And man, it's going to be an interesting ride next year, especially when we have the Federal Reserve, central banks all over the world just blowing wind in our sails on the top of the corporations buying Bitcoin.
It's so crazy. And this is, then you can see what scarcity really means, right? Because usually, well, when the demand is increasing, you just print more. This is not possible for Bitcoin. So these people, they have to go to the OTC market, they have to go to the open market, and they have to buy Bitcoin, and they are scarce. People will not be willing to sell. And what is the only thing which will happen in addition to that? Obviously, the price going up if the supply stays the same. So DaVinci, I'm very excited about that. Thank you so much for taking your time today. Maybe we are pulling up the charts and we see what magic TA you want to drop on our heads today, because I can tell you guys, watch until the end. There are some surprises here involved.
All right, so let's take a look at the Bitcoin price. Obviously, many people have talked about how we have our first close, weekly close, in this area of $13,000, right? Since to January 2018. That's amazing, right? There's never been a weekly close higher than this, and yeah, this is a very positive sign, very bullish sign. It shows that we have strength, and this means the overall bull market that we've been expecting, that people were wondering and considering, is it going to happen? Are we going to see this happen again? This is an indication for sure that it is happening
right
oh
now.
My God. Exactly, right now, right here, right now.
Exactly.
Now, in the immediate short term, what we're seeing here is that this is a trade location, unfortunately. As you can see, right, on this chart, we're touching against the trade location for shorts, right? This is where the shorts are going to come in heavy. And you can see another trade location, right? Because this is a perfect AB equals CD. This AB equals CD is more perfect than anything that we're seeing at this level here if we go down to the short-term time frame, which we'll talk about in a second. But this AB equals CD came down to the 61.8, bounced back up to here. This is like textbook. So this is going to be some serious resistance here. However, if we turn around, if we blow through this, anywhere the 1.618 and the 2 to 1 ratio is the next target. So these two are the next target. If we blow through this, there's no way you could look at this and say, hey, this is going to be dumping after we blow through and we go to the 13,800. No way, we're going a lot higher than that.
Wow.
All right, with that said, let's take a look at the shorter time frame and see what we can see. I don't think there's any trades in the shorter time frame. We have, if you look at this, you don't have a nice market structure. This W is weak, right? Because we broke the tail down here. We broke that last tail down here. So what is this? Is this a real W?
On the line chart, I think on the line chart it is. I just checked it 2 hours ago, but
yeah, I mean it does work on the line chart. Yeah, it does, right? But it's still right because of that dump. It's kind of weak, right?
Yeah.
And then on top of that, right, we have bearish divergences, right here, which is confirmed on the RSI, and then on the MACD, it's really difficult, but I'd call this muddy, right? Because even though it is a divergence, right, and it's been confirmed, because the histogram's on the opposite side of the chart here, it's on the negative side of the chart. I don't like to take those trades. I like to see the histogram go higher and then come back down and then draw from that point to the top point on the histogram. But because it didn't do that, I'm a little concerned about that particular bearish divergence. A little bit muddy for me. Yeah. If we see a massive dump here, like a massive dump, just like we did here, right? Another one. I'd say for sure you need to look for shorts on this thing. Absolutely, right? A massive dump, then do the Hail Mary trade. Get in at the 61.8 when it comes back up again, because the bulls will try again, and then just sell that. But if we're here, is there any kind of buying position here? No, you're not buying from the position of strength. You're buying a position of weakness. You should not be buying up here at 13,400. Yes, it is a breakout trade. And if you're a breakout trader, fine. And make sure that you set your stops. You know where you want to take the losses on. Make sure you have stops because it could break this heavily and go straight up to 14,000. That's quite a bit of money, right? Maybe 14,300 actually. And that's quite a bit of money to just leave on the table. So I understand if you're a breakout trader, you want to take this trade, and that's fine. It's just, make sure you have your stops ready because this thing could easily just dump hard on you heavily. Looking at the even shorter time frame to find out where your stops would be, I would suggest that you look for some sort of Wing action. There isn't much of a clear Wing action other than this one right here, which is not very clean, but it's what we've got. So we're going to use that. See if I can get that right there, and there we go. And then we make sure that that's the top there. And then what you could do is start buying in all the way to 38.2. Hit your stop loss at the 61.8, which is at 13,000. So the 38.2 is 13,350. You'd stop buying. That would be your last probably buy order, and then you'd stop loss it at 13,239, and to see if you can ride the wave higher. Basically, it's what if you're a breakout trader, if you wanted to do that. I'm not doing that. That's not a position of strength, and so I'm not interested at all. Yep. All right. So that's my TA for today on that.
Well, yeah, exactly. So thank you so much for mentioning that. Otherwise, I would have done that. It is very important not to jump on the train right now. I mean, I love to trade breakouts. I made some calls here back then, but this was, we were at 9,400, we were at 10,500 and so on. And these were positions of strength. Now, after us being bullish since ages, having bearish divergences, just like Da Vinci mentioned it, and having the MACD also probably firing something up, you shouldn't rush into a trade right now. If you're in a trade, set some stop losses, and then if it goes higher, you ride it more towards the upside. But of course, guys, Da Vinci, you just mentioned, in case we are breaking through, you would be looking for the 14,200 or so, 15,300, the Fibonacci extensions. And if we are actually delivering on this bearish divergence, you also had a nice short trade over there. So everyone knows everything now when it comes to your planning. And I wanted to say something. If you are following us here, specifically the Da Vinci J15 videos with me on our channel, why are you not subscribed also to the DaVinci J15 channel? So if you are not subscribed, I will be leaving the link to his channel down below in the pinned comment, and also on top of the screen there is it popping up right now. Click it if you are not subscribed yet. Press the bell there, because he is pushing there nearly daily content about Bitcoin, about his TA, his price predictions. What we are doing here is a bonus with additional information. So you should be, if you are interested in his opinion, be subscribed to both of these channels. This is very important. And if you're not pressing the bell, because DaVinci is not using clickbait and stuff so much, he's just too much of a nice person, you have to press the bell if you want to get these notifications, because otherwise YouTube is not pushing it to you. This is very important as well. So, DaVinci, I have another question, because we see massive institutional FOMO right now evolving on Bitcoin. And I wanted to show you some crazy news, guys. By the way, I will just quickly show you here. This is my trade on Bybit. You can see it. It is still open. And this is the most important thing. My trade on Femex, it is right now racking in 93,000 US dollars in profit. And here you can see, this is my stop loss. I have put a stop loss in case the market turns against me. I am going home for sure with money. So make sure you take advantage of the stop loss function, because sometimes when you're in a profit, you want to make sure that you go home here when the market turns against you, and it will eventually do it one day. And here's the link down below in the pinned comment here, directly next to the DaVinci J15's channel link, where when you click this link, you get a $390 bonus after your initial deposit. But right now, don't rush into trades. The Bitcoin is very volatile, guys. So please consider this to be only for experienced traders, and a $390 bonus is, of course, something amazing. But here are the news I want to be talking about. And DaVinci, I will ask you the very important question about price implications, your prediction, and your thoughts about this news afterwards. Look at this, guys. This is here directly. I posted it on Twitter just a few minutes ago. The people are again going crazy about this news. Look at this. Breaking news. The huge DBS bank in Singapore is adopting Bitcoin. Now all institutions are FOMOing into Bitcoin. And here you can see a screenshot from their webpage. And they are basically adding so many currency pairs. Bitcoin against Singapore dollar, Bitcoin against Hong Kong dollar, Bitcoin against US dollar, Bitcoin against Japanese yen. Like, they are offering buying and selling of Bitcoin, even Ethereum Classic, XRP, security tokens, which are asset-backed tokens. So they are even going into the token space. Ivan on Tech, my friend here over on Twitter, posted also just a few hours ago, an Indian bank is confirming crypto support. What is going on? Everyone is FOMOing here. And this Indian bank is also now offering crypto services across its 34 branches. So after this amazing PayPal news, we now see more and more banks, more and more institutions, more and more companies joining the space, putting Bitcoin into their treasury. And that's why I wanted to ask for you, DaVinci. We are here for the long term. What do you think are these implications? Let's call it the PayPal effect here, with all these banks and institutions joining crypto. And maybe you have some price predictions or price mechanisms behind it. I think you are the best guy to ask for it, if we all keep in mind what kind of videos you uploaded in 2011 when Bitcoin was at $1 and you were predicting much higher prices. So please, the stage is yours, DaVinci.
Yes, well, you know, Binance, right, was making about $1 billion in profit, right, cumulative profit in 1 quarter, right, per quarter, basically. And that's a lot of profit that you know, all the different banks are leaving off the table, and they haven't even gotten a market saturation yet, right? And they're making their income's $1 billion every quarter.
Yeah.
And so obviously these banks are looking at that and going, I want some. Right? I mean, this is our business model. We trade currencies. Why can't we trade these things too, right? Exactly. So obviously they're feeling the jealousness of you know, Binance making such huge profits, and so they want in on this space. And then on top of that, right, of course, this space is new, and it's going to take over. They know that they're going to lose to this space. At this point in time, I think that it's clear that it's basically the internet, like MP3s were to the music industry and so forth, and digital, and the internet to the news agencies. They're still going to be around. The banks are still going to be around, just like the newspapers are still around, just like television is still around, and the news and all that stuff. But they won't be as relevant.
Exactly. Yeah, man, I think it's just a crazy time to live in. We were preaching this since ages, and now we can finally see this happening. I think this PayPal thing, it is one of these things which are just causing a chain reaction of network effects, of making Bitcoin even stronger, even bigger, and increasing the incentive structure for future banks and institutions also joining the space. So the more people join the network, the more valuable and the more incentivized are future other institutions and banks to join it as well. Because of course there is this pressure from the competition coming, and obviously you are more incentivized to buy Bitcoin if your next door neighbor is having it as well. So I think these are extremely interesting things evolving for Bitcoin now. And another thing you mentioned here before we started the recording is you mentioned this. Just imagine one of the top 10 companies buys Bitcoin and puts it in his treasury. So guys, think about it. What kind of numbers we are talking about? Some of these companies, whatever it is, Apple, Microsoft, I don't know, like the oil companies. How much cash do many of these companies have on the sidelines? Da Vinci, can you elaborate a little bit on that, maybe? Because when it's about US dollar, the demand increases. They just print more. But this is not working for Bitcoin, right?
Yeah, I mean, imagine this, right? There's the Fortune 500 companies have like $5 trillion in their balance sheet and counting cash. That's burning away, that's wasting away, because already the Federal Reserve has printed 25% of that money away from them. And unless they're directly getting that cash injection from the Federal Reserve to ensure that their current cash balances keeps up with inflation, and if they're not making enough, like at least they have to at least make 15% more cash flow just to stay even, right? And not money. That's not even including the taxes that might have to be incurred on top of that cash flow income. Something has to give. They're going to realize, wait a second, you know what? I need to come up with a way to preserve my wealth and have something more than what I have today. So Bitcoin is it, because it has a huge upside potential. And if you're the last one into this currency, well, you might be left out in the cold, and you won't see the huge upside. So nobody wants to be first, but nobody wants to be last, right? Because the last is just as worse as being first, probably. Well, yeah. I think no, last is the worst. Well, up more worse than being first, because yeah, being first is just the kind of like, oh, you look like an idiot. Why are you doing that nonsense? It's just a perception of your company's like below. But who cares about perception when you're making the cash, right?
Exactly. Man, many good points made, and I am extremely pumped about the future. When we just think about these numbers, for example, you mentioned Binance making $1 billion in a quarter. The Deutsche Bank has a decades-long history, multiple decades. They have excess of more employees in their company than Binance, and Binance was just founded in 2017, and they already make way more profits than the Deutsche Bank. Obviously, everyone is rushing into the space. Obviously, we will see these trickle-down effects over the whole economy. It might take a few years, but we are already seeing the first signs in the prices right now. So guys, if you are bullish on this video, scroll down, smash up the like button, follow DaVinciJ15 on his channel. And I wanted to ask you, Da Vinci, do you have any updates to share, any news about Pandora's Wallet, your channel, or whatever you want to talk about?
Yeah, we're just having a sale on Pandora's Wallet. I just recently purchased a new computer and I'm setting it up. It's working great. There's obviously some issues, right, that I have to work through. But once we work through those issues, right, I'll be having more streams, both on not only on YouTube, but on Facebook and other platforms as well, because I want to get away from YouTube. In fact, I'm going to be thinking about, stop using YouTube altogether for not for my personal viewing. So I'm going to stop watching videos on YouTube. So Chris, you're going to have to move your videos to another platform so I can watch them, because I'm not going to support a company that or a corporation that has just basically cut off all of the channels that I used to watch, like SGT Report. They've cut off the Dollar Vigilante. They cut off so many different channels that I watched on a daily basis, and they even cut Ron Paul off for a while. But I wouldn't be surprised if they finally just cut him off permanently. So it's coming to everybody, and it's even coming to us. So you might as well start moving away from this, because they're going to get around to everybody that they don't like.
Well, doesn't mean that you shouldn't subscribe to the Da Vinci channel, because there will be more videos coming up. But I completely agree with you. It is a very sad development we are seeing here, because censorship is for sure not the reason why we are in crypto, because Bitcoin is censorship resistant. Thank you so much for joining us today, Da Vinci. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you everyone for watching this video, for smashing up the like button, and for all your continuous support. You are truly the best crypto family out there. Our views are unmatched. Our likes are unmatched. It's just crazy. I am so grateful to be talking to you guys. This is the reason why I'm waking up every single morning making these videos, and I'm sure it's the same for Da Vinci. So thank you so much, Da Vinci. Thank you so much, everyone here. And with that being said, Da Vinci, any last words to share before we are wrapping it up for today?
Yeah, always play from a position of strength and don't get wrecked.
Do not get wrecked, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see each other very soon at the next one of MMCrypto. And as always, guys, click the MMCrypto, but more importantly, the Da Vinci J15 channel to subscribe right now. And also, if you haven't watched it already, click the Bybit tutorial right here. And as always, guys, bye-bye. Nice.
All right, wait a second. Waffles wants to say something to you. Bye.
Is this Satoshi?
Bye.
Bye-bye.
No, buy Bitcoin. Buy Bitcoin.